Spring is a lovely reminder of how beautiful change can be. It's also a reminder of how much clutter can weigh you down. Chances are your home is filled with documents you really don't need. And they're not only cluttering your space, but cluttering your mind. So how do you decide what should stay and what should go? For your tax returns, the IRS has a good rule of thumb is to save them for at least 6 years, unless you've been fraudulent, and then you should save them indefinitely. Jokes aside, there are documents you should not toss. For instance, I spoke with someone recently who lost their spouse, and their spouse was the one who managed all of their home repairs and improvements. The surviving spouse wasn't able to access those documents and couldn't write those improvements off with the sale of their home. Those receipts really matter, so you should keep them. I make sure to submit mine to my CPA every year so our taxes are covered. It's also important to keep a copy of your will, insurance policies, and mortgage lending documents, at least for the amount of time you've owned the property. So what should you part ways with? Copies of your bills and investment and bank statements. Most of the time, they're all accessible online. If you want to keep a physical copy, just keep the year-end statement. Now, how about those appliance manuals? Chances are there's a drawer in your house filled with them. But they can also be found online with a quick Google search, so there's no need for them to take up space. Now, here's a tough one. Artwork from your loved ones. I have a lot of this, and it has a lot of sentimental value. One solution I found is to take pictures of it and use a website like Shutterfly to turn it into a book. That way, I can preserve the memory and it takes up less space. If you're getting rid of important documents with personal information, it's always a good idea to shred them yourself or take them to a professional shredding service. I hope this spring brings you less clutter and more joy.